Assalamualaikum. Saya harap semua dah ada lah ya. Okay, saya buat kelas hari ni dekat rumah tau. So kalau ada bunyi-bunyi yang bising-bising tu sorry sebab um, saya tak pergi office hari ni. Saya macam tak sihat sikit hari ni, so saya tak pergi office. So saya buat kelas kat rumah. So kalau ada gangguan bunyi-bunyi tu saya minta maaf sangat-sangat. Okay, insyaAllah minggu depan saya akan pergi ke pergi office lah. Right. So tapi boleh ke dengar suara saya tak? Sayup-sayup.
Dengar, madam.
Dengar Okay, Alhamdulillah. Alright, so for today kita akan discuss plant tissue dengan animal tissue. Kan kita tak masuk lagi kan? Lecture awak dah masuk dah ke? Lecture.
Jadi kami masuk animal tissue.
Nice. Bolehlah kita pergi discuss laju sikit tau. Okay. Alright. So, saya akan discuss kejap. Saya tak apa sebab kat office selalunya guna dua PC kan. Tak boleh saya macam nak nampak juga muka korang ni. Kejap. I'm going to share my screen. Wait for a minute. Kejap Okay. Kejap saya cari. Okay, so tadi dah sampai animal tissue, tak kat mana dah animal tissue tu? Semua animal tissue ke?
Sampai connective tissue.
Sampai connective tissue. Oh. Alright, so ni tadi tadi ke lecture awak?
Ya, madam, tadi.
Ni ya? Pukul berapa tu?
10 sampai 11.
Loh, ya ke? Lepas tu saya tak payah cerita dah lah kot ke macam mana? Nak saya cerita lagi? Dia macam ulang balik lah. Mungkin saya bet lah yang memang lecture awak memang dah discuss lah semuanya. Okay. Saya akan pergi balik, discuss balik apa dia. Okay, so kalau cells for 2.3, cells are grouped into tissue. Okay, these are the learning objective. Describe animal tissue and plant tissue. Explain the following types of cell and tissue. Animal cell and tissue, plant cell and tissue. Okay, so kita tengok dulu apa itu animal tissue. Animal tissue we have 4. We have epithelial, nerve, muscle and connective tissue. So we're going to discuss, for these 2 hours, we're going to discuss 2.3. Okay, everything in 2.3. Okay, plant tissue and animal tissue. Okay, so I make star at epithelial tissue and muscle tissue sebab itu adalah soalan popular. Okay, soalan popular. So first we going to take a look at epithelial tissue. For epithelial tissue, this is the structure, the common structure of epithelial tissue. Okay, the shape is polygonal. Okay, the shape is polygonal and the arrangement of the cell is packed tightly. Dia duduk rapat-rapat. Dia tak ada air space, no air space. Okay, and the characteristics of epithelial cell, it has one surface exposed to air. Okay, for example like this. Okay, one surface exposed to air or fluid. Or the other surface yang bawah will attach to the basement membrane. Okay, that is the characteristic of epithelial cell. The one exposed, atas exposed, bawah attached. Alright, and then for epithelial tissue, we can classify into 2. We can classify into 2 criteria. First, based on the free surface, okay, we have squamous, cuboidal and columnar. And the second criteria based on the cell layer. Simple maksudnya satu layer. Kalau stratified, apa maksud dia? What is that? What is stratified?
Berjalur.
Berjalur? Stop berjalur.
Banyak berlapis.
Ya.
Banyak lapis.
Okay, saya silentkan. Banyak lapis. Yes, dia banyak lapis. Tak dengar kan? Alright. Dia banyak lapis tau, dia banyak lapis. So kalau banyak lapis tu maksudnya dia bertingkat-tingkat lah. Siapa yang sebut banyak lapis tadi? Tak sihat ke? Siapa yang sebut banyak lapis ni? Tak sihat ke? Macam suara lelaki je. Iman eh?
Itu.
Tak sihat ke? Iman?
Baru bangun.
Ha? Baru bangun. Okay.
Baru.
Baik. Okay. So epithelial cells, kalau one layer kita ada simple epithelial cells. Okay. Few layers kita ada simple stratified epithelial. So simple epithelial kita ada simple squamous, simple cuboidal and simple columnar. For each type of simple epithelial, what you need to know is you need to know the diagram. Diagram dia macam mana, rupa dia macam mana, structures and also functions. Okay. For simple squamous epithelial cell, so this is the structure. Okay, it is thin and flattened. Kena cakap thin and flattened. You cannot say thin sahaja. Salah. Okay, it must come in pair. Macam fork and knife. Thin and flattened. Okay, thin and flattened with central nucleus. Okay, nucleus is located at the center. Right? And the function is to allow diffusion of nutrient and gases. Okay, acts a barrier and regulate movement of substances across it. Barrier maksud dia penghalang lah. Okay, it also protects the underlying tissue. Okay, tu adalah simple squamous. Gambar dia macam ni. For simple cuboidal, okay, simple cuboidal, the shape is cube. Okay, it is cube shape. Cube shape with central nucleus. Okay, cube shape with central nucleus. And some of them have microvilli. So whenever cell have microvilli, what is the function? Anyone can tell me what is the function? What is the function of microvilli?
To increase surface area.
Increase surface area. Good, Falih. Increase surface area. Iman, untuk apa? Increase surface area, Iman?
To absorption.
Yes, for absorption. Okay, so the function is for secretion and also for absorption. Okay, simple cuboidal, cube-shaped central nucleus. Some have microvilli. Next, we have columnar. Okay, columnar. Columnar, the shape is columnar. Okay, simple columnar epithelial, the shape is columnar. Columnar shape with oval nucleus near the basal end. Okay, oval nucleus near the basal end maksudnya nucleus dia duduk dekat bawah. Okay, kalau tadi simple squamous and simple cuboidal, the nucleus is located at the center. Nucleus dia confident, duduk kat tengah. Okay, dia memang jenis exposed. Dia jenis confident duduk kat tengah. Kalau simple columnar ni dia punya nucleus dia macam segan sikit, dia duduk kat bawah. Okay, near the basal end. Alright. And simple columnar epithelial cell usually associated with goblet cell. Always associated with goblet cell. Maksudnya dia sentiasa akan ada celah-celah tu antara columnar epithelial cell, epithelial tissue tu akan ada goblet cell. And the function of goblet cell is to secrete mucus. Okay, function goblet cell to secrete mucus. And apical surface surface kat atas lah. Okay, at the apical surface, they have cilia or microvilli. Okay, cilia or microvilli. For microvilli is for absorption. What is the function of cilia? Aini, what is the function of cilia? Aini?
Cilia. Apa
Ya.
dia move water dia.
Move water.
Ah,
Dia buang water.
buang
Ah.
water.
Bukan. Ini bukan. Maksud saya, dia movement. Awak cakap move water kan? Saya tak nak perkataan water tu. Dia untuk move sahaja. Okay? Okay, thank you Aini. So kalau kita tengok functions, okay, functions dia with the presence of goblet cell. So simple columnar that have goblet cell, the function is to secrete mucus. Secrete mucus. Okay? For example, linings of the nasal cavity. Okay, ada mucus. Then second function, the presence of microvilli. Okay, the presence of microvilli is to increase surface area for absorption. And the presence of cilia help movement of mucus. Okay, kalau ada cilia untuk bergerak. Okay, untuk bergerak. Kalau ada microvilli untuk absorb. Okay, untuk absorb, for absorption. Okay, cilia can be found at the lining of the uterus. Okay, lining of the uterus, lining of the oviducts. Okay, ovum, a secondary site cannot move. Okay, it cannot move on its own. So it need cilia. Okay, cilia can be found at the simple columna. So that cilia will help the movement. Okay, the movement of secondary oocyte at the lining of the oviducts. Right? Okay. That is simple squamous. Okay, simple squamous, simple cuboidal, simple columnar. So we already covered 3 simple epithelial cell. Then we're going to take a look at stratified. Okay, stratified squamous epithelial cell. Stratified maksudnya adalah bertingkat-tingkat, a few layers. Okay, a few layers. Alright, it consists of several layers of cell, thicker than simple epithelium. The lowest layer are usually cuboidal shape and it is metabolically active. So I just refer to this diagram. Okay, this diagram. As you can see, this is stratified. Stratified maksudnya bertingkat-tingkat. Okay, bertingkat-tingkat. A few consists of more than one layer. You can see that at the bottom layer near the basement membrane, the shape is cuboidal. Okay, the shape is cube shape. Okay, cube shape. And as it grows up, okay, bila kita tengok bahagian atas, okay, at the top part of the stratified squamous, the shape is squamous. Okay, and yang bahagian atas ni is the it is the old cells. The new cells is located at the bottom. Okay, the new cells located at the bottom. So these cells which is located at the bottom here, they will divide mitotically to produce new cells. Okay, they will divide mitotically to produce new cells. Yang bawah tu akan divide by meiosis to produce new cells. Right? Okay. Okay, we move on to the next one. Okay, the next one is, the next slide is where the stratified squamous can be found. Okay, it can be found at the protection is required. For example, lining of mouth, esophagus, anus, vagina, and skin. Okay, the function act as protective layers in areas of higher friction. Okay, in areas of higher friction, right? Okay, that is, okay, this is overview of epithelial cell, epithelial tissue. Okay, we move on to the next cell, nerve cell or neuron. Okay, this is nerve cell or neuron cell. It consists of the general structure. It consists of cell body, dendrites, and axon. Okay, cell body, dendrites, and axon. So this is the 3 types of neuron. We have sensory neuron, motor neuron, and interneuron. Okay, sensory neuron, motor neuron, and interneuron. Okay, and then this is the diagram that shows the structure of the nerve cell. So first we have dendrites, cell body, nodes of Ranvier. This is nodes of Ranvier, the myelin sheath, and the axon. Okay, this is the function of neuron. We have motor neuron. Motor neuron, the first function is to transmit nerve impulse from the CNS, central nervous system, to the motor organs or effector. So kita nak transmit nerve impulse daripada CNS. CNS kita adalah brain and spinal cord. Okay, we're going to transmit nerve impulse from brain and spinal cord to our muscle or gland. That is the function of motor neuron. Then we have sensory neuron. Sensory neuron transmit impulse from sensory receptor to CNS. Okay, daripada sensory, contoh kita pegang benda panas. Okay, siapa yang hantar kepada CNS, kepada brain? Sensory neuron. Okay, then we have interneuron which transmit impulse from one neuron to another. Dia antara neuron. That's why we call as interneuron. Okay. Neuroglial cells, okay, neuroglial cells is a supporting cell for the nerve tissue. They do not conduct electrical impulse. Okay, for example, we have Schwann cell. In this diagram, okay, you can see that this is Schwann cell. Schwann cell will form myelin sheath. Okay, Schwann cell will form myelin sheath. Myelin sheath, the function is electrical insulator. Okay, the function of myelin sheath act as electrical insulator. So bila kita cakap electrical insulator, dia adalah penebat elektrik. Dia tak bagi elektrik lalu. Okay, so bila dia tak bagi elektrik lalu, it will speed up the transmission of impulse. Okay, it speed up the transmission of impulse. So what happened is, you can see, okay, what happened from this diagram, okay, I explain based on this diagram. Whenever we have myelin sheath, okay, this is myelin sheath. So electrical impulse won't pass through the myelin sheath. Electrical impulse takkan lalu dekat myelin sheath. So what happened is, electrical impulse will jump. It jump from one node of Ranvier to another. Nodes of Ranvier is the part that do not has myelin sheath. Okay, so nodes of Ranvier, at the region of nodes of Ranvier, the electrical impulse can jump, it can move. Okay, so when it moves like this by jumping, okay, it will speed up the transmission of impulse. Okay, all right, and then okay, the nodes of Ranvier, the small uncovered parts of axon between the Schwann cell, which serve as site for accelerating an impulse. So dia cakap nodes of Ranvier tadi untuk accelerate electrical impulse. Okay, alright, and kita tukar color. Okay, we move on to the next one, the muscle tissue. Okay, the muscle tissue. Okay, saya buat star sebab ini favorite. Muscle tissue soalan last year, PSPM 2021 adalah soalan muscle tissue. Dia tanya soalan pasal muscle tissue. Okay, so you need to know, what you need to know is the structure and also function. First, you need to know the diagram. Okay, the diagram of muscle tissue. Okay, how you can differentiate, how you can identify the differences between three types of muscle tissue. Okay, so if you look at this diagram, okay, we have if you look at this slide, we have three types of muscle tissue: smooth muscle tissue, skeletal muscle tissue, and cardiac muscle tissue. So first, we're going to discuss smooth muscle tissue. Okay, for smooth muscle tissue, it is single cell. Okay, it is a single cell. Okay, a single cell with a central nucleus. Okay, single cell, satu sel yang ada nucleus located at the center. Okay, and the shape is elongated spindle shape. Okay, elongated spindle shape. It is memanjang lah, okay, memanjang, and then it has pointed ends. Okay, it has pointed ends, right? And why we call this as smooth muscle? Because it is unstriated. It do not has striation. Maksudnya dia tak ada jalur-jalur macam ni. Okay, that's why kita panggil smooth muscle. Okay, it is unstriated, do not has striation. Okay, and the distribution of the smooth muscle, it can be found at the walls of the digestive tract, urinary bladder, uterus, and blood vessel. Okay, the function for a smooth muscle responsible for involuntary activities. Okay, for example, peristalsis. Okay, peristalsis. If you eat your breakfast, okay, if you had your breakfast before you start your class, okay, your food will pass through. okay, pass through your digestive tract and by the process of peristalsis. Okay, that is involuntary action. You cannot tell, oh, at this part, okay, stop, makanan stop dekat sini. Tak boleh. Okay, that is involuntary activities. Okay, then we move on to skeletal. Skeletal, kalau skeletal of course lah, skeleton. Okay, dia duduk dekat bone. Okay, this skeletal muscle, it will attach to the bone. Okay, skeletal muscle will attach to the bone. So the structure of skeletal muscle, it is cylindrical, long cylindrical shape, panjang dan bentuk silinder. Okay, very long muscle called fibers, and it contain many protein fiber called as myofibril. Okay, called as myofibrils. Okay, skeletal muscle, it is multinucleated. Maksudnya dia banyak nukleus. Okay, dia banyak nukleus. Okay, dia banyak nukleus. And you can see that, okay, in this diagram, you can see that skeletal muscle is striated. Okay, striated. Maksudnya dia ada jalur-jalur. Striated. Alright? Okay. Yap, dia cakap sini. Striated muscle with myofibrils. Right? And the plasma membrane of muscle, we call that as sarcolemma. Okay, plasma membrane of muscle, we call that as sarcolemma. Cytoplasm of the muscle, we call that as sarcoplasm. Okay, at myofibril here, setiap myofibril tu, it consists of sarcomere. Sarcomere. At myofibril, it consists of sarcomere. Sarcomere is the functional unit for muscle contraction. Okay, functional unit for muscle contraction. Maksudnya, every time our muscle want to contract, okay, the sarcomere will be lengthened. Okay, dia akan bergerak. Okay, dia akan bergerak. We're going to learn this in semester 2. Okay, in semester 2. Okay, sarcomere, it consists of filaments. Filaments which are actin and myosin. Actin and myosins are protein. So when actin and myosin arrange, okay, when they are arranged, they will give light and dark bands. Okay, kita akan belajar nanti sem 2. Alright. So the distribution of the muscle, okay, distribution of the muscle, it attached to the skeleton. Okay, attached to the skeleton. The function, okay, the function of skeletal muscle is for voluntary activities. Okay, voluntary activities. Okay, movement of the skeletons, organ, the eyeball and the tongue. Okay, it also voluntary lah, maksudnya kita boleh control. So bila kita boleh control, dia akan cepat letih. It will fatigue quickly. Okay, it will fatigue quickly. That is the skeletal muscle. For cardiac muscle, if you see the structure of cardiac muscle, it almost the same as skeletal muscle. But the special thing, the unique characteristic of cardiac muscle, it has branching and also it has intercalated disc. Okay, intercalated disc. Okay, intercalated disc. Okay, if you look at this diagram, it is elongated, cylindrical, and branch. Okay, elongated, cylindrical, and branch. And it consists of many mitochondria. It also has striation. Okay, striation because of myofibril. Okay, striation sebab ada apa? Sebab dia ada myofibril. And it has nucleus located at the center. It also has intercalated disc. Intercalated disc, the function of intercalated disc is to spread impulse or spread signal rapidly from cell to cell during heartbeat. Okay, to spread impulse rapidly from cell to cell during heartbeat. So kita nak hantar impulse secara cepat daripada one cell to another cell during heartbeat by intercalated disc. Okay, so cardiac muscle located in the walls of the heart. Okay, located in the wall of the heart. Kalau you tengok gambar ni, you can see that it has intercalated disc and branching. Tengok ya. Okay, intercalated disc and branching. Okay, this one. Okay, so the function is involuntary activities. Okay, the function is for involuntary activities, the one that we cannot control. Okay, because our muscle, our heart, okay, heart we cannot control our heart. Okay, we cannot control the pumping of blood through the heart because our heart is myogenic. Okay, myogenic, meaning it has its own built-in system of control to generate contraction. Okay, it has its own built-in system of control to generate contraction. Maksudnya dia tak perlukan arahan daripada brain untuk bagi tahu, oh, kau kena beat dengan laju. Kau kena start beating sekarang. Esok berhenti. Tak, dia macam tu. It is myogenic. It has its own built-in system. Apa nama sistem tu? What is the name of the system? What is the name of the system? Anyone? What is the pacemaker of the heart?
Sinoatrial node.
Thank you, Alia. Sinoatrial node, SA node. SA node is the pacemaker of the heart. This structure will, this SA node will act as pacemaker to start, to generate the contraction of our heart. Alright. So our heart will moderate, rapid and powerful, beat moderate, rapid and powerful with rest between contraction. It is long refractory period, does not fatigue. So kita punya heart akan still beating selagi kita tak matilah. Dia stop bila kita bersin je. Itu pun berapa second saja. Okay. Connective tissue. Okay, lecture awak stop sini kan. Connective tissue kita ada, the function is to protect, support the body and internal organs. Okay, we have 3 types. We have compact bone, hyaline cartilage and blood. Blood saya nak awak baca sendiri. Saya tak cerita dah pasal blood. Okay, sebab blood ni awak dah belajar daripada sekolah. Okay, sekolah dah belajar and then honestly soalan blood dia jarang-jarang keluar. Tak pernah keluar pun soalan blood. Okay, dia tanya pasal blood. So I prefer kita study smart lah saya discuss compact bone dengan hyaline cartilage saja. Okay, so compact bone, so this is the structure of the compact bone. Okay, compact bone. Compact bone it consists of osteon. Okay, osteon. Yang ni satu bulat ni kita panggil sebagai osteon. Or we call that as Haversian system. Okay, at the center of osteon, it has central canal. Okay, it has central canal. Inside the central canal, it consists of blood vessel and nerve. Okay, blood vessel and nerve. Ada siapa-siapa tak dalam kelas ni pernah patah tulang? Ada tak? Ada tak siapa-siapa? Tak ada? Tak ada ke? Oh, tak ada Okay, kalau siapa-siapa yang awak pernah jumpa ke adik-beradik awak ke atau family awak pernah patah jari, pernah patah tulang kan, akan nampak darah keluar. Walaupun dia patah. Okay, patah. Ada kot sebab saya nampak family terdekat saya lah patah jari. Dah lama dah tapi nampak darah keluar. Sebab apa? Sebab dalam tu juga ada blood vessel and nerve. Okay, blood vessel and nerve. Okay, so blood akan keluar. And then our compact bone is also consist of matrix. Okay, yang kala-kala kuning tu itu adalah matrix. Okay, matrix. And that matrix is composed of hydroxypeptide and collagen. Okay, matrix tu diperbuat hydroxypeptide and collagen. Diperbuat daripada apa? Okay, hydroxypeptide and collagen. Right? And we also have Volkmann's canal. Volkmann's canal, we cannot see, okay, from this diagram, we cannot see Volkmann's canal because Volkmann's canal is located inside the compact bone. It will connect the central canal of adjacent osteon to each other. So Volkmann's canal ni adalah laluan yang akan connectkan satu central canal to each other. Okay, to each other. That is Volkmann's canal, right? And it also, okay, compact bone also has lacunae. Okay, jap, sorry. A compact bone also has lacunae. Lacunae plural, lacuna singular. Lacunae is spaces between lamella surrounded by hard matrix. So this is lacunae. Inside the lacunae, it consists of osteocyte. Dalam ni ada osteocyte ni. Osteocyte tu adalah bone cell. Bone cell found in lacunae. Later, it will form osteoblast. Okay, and then the lacunae is connected. This lacunae is connected by canaliculi. Okay, canaliculi. Okay, because this canaliculi will supply nutrient for osteocyte. Okay, this canaliculi will supply nutrient for osteocyte. Okay, sebab itulah kita ada canaliculi ni. Dia akan bagi nutrient kepada osteocyte. Okay, bone forming cell. Right. So function of compact bone, give body shape and provide framework for support. So kita bagi, kalau saya ni rendah. So macam ni lah bone saya dia kecil lah kan. Body shape saya rendah lah. Kecil je lah kan. Kalau yang besar, dia punya skeleton pun besar. Okay. Kedua, protect the internal organ. For example, cranium will protect the brain, rib cage will protect the heart and lungs. Okay, and then it also act as surface for attachment of skeletal muscle to enable movement, and also act as reservoir for calcium and phosphorus. Okay, and also site for blood cell for production in the bone marrow. Okay, site for blood cell production in the bone marrow. Alright, next we move on to hyaline cartilage. Okay, hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, it consists of course, it has lacuna, the lacunae, but lacunae is not connected. Okay, the lacunae is not connected. It's not connected by each other. Okay, it's not connected by each other. Dia duduk dalam capsule. Okay, it's surrounded by a capsule. Okay, surrounded by capsule. And then it also has chondroblast, which is the cartilage cell, later become chondrocyte, located in lacuna. Sama juga dalam compact bone, dalam lacuna dia ada osteocyte, ada osteoblast. Hyaline cartilage inside the lacuna consists of chondroblast, consists of chondrocyte. And also has matrix. The matrix of hyaline cartilage, we call that as chondrine. Okay, that chondrine is composed of chondroitin sulfate plus collagen. Okay, chondroitin sulfate plus collagen. Okay, kalau awak pergi Watson ke Guardian kan, awak akan nanti awak tengoklah, nanti awak pergi Watson Guardian ke, ada dekat bahagian farmasi dia tu, ada tablet yang jual, tulis kat situ chondroitin sulfate. Okay, chondroitin sulfate untuk tambahkan dia punya cartilage, untuk tambahkan cartilage dalam badan. Okay, tapi itu bukan ori lah, dia sintetik. Okay, chondroitin sulfate yang jual dekat farmasi tu, dia punya function untuk tambah cartilage dalam badan. Kenapa nak tambah? Sebab as we grow older, the cartilage between our bones, okay, the cartilage between our bone will be reduced. Okay, cartilage antara kita punya tulang tu kat sini, dia akan jadi berkurang. So bila berkurang, sebab itulah ada yang sakit lutut kan, ada lenguh-lenguh kan, contoh. Sebab itulah, sebab hyaline cartilage dia dah berkurang. Sebab itulah dia mudah sakit dekat bahagian tulang. Okay. The main location of hyaline cartilage also can be found at the nose, air passage of the respiratory system, and also parts of the ear. Okay. So the function is to keep the trachea and bronchi open. And also it covers the ends of bone and reduce friction between movement. Also form the skeleton of embryonic in many bony vertebrate and cartilaginous fish. Okay, so that is hyaline cartilage. For blood cell, I won't discuss blood cell. You baca sendiri. Okay, alright. So for a short exercise, I already assigned a topic. Okay, I already assigned a worksheet. Cell are grouped into tissue in Google Classroom. Okay, cells are grouped into tissue. You can refer to your Google Classroom. Okay, click the assignments. Cell are grouped into tissue. I want you to do question number 1 only. Question number 1 only. I give you 10 minutes. Can you do it now? 10 minit Buat dulu sekarang. Tak payah hantar lagi, buat je dulu. Okay, tulis je jawapan dekat situ dulu. 10 minit saya bagi masa. Boleh? Okay, dekat Google Classroom ada. 10 minit Buat kejap. Saya bagi 10 minit. Thank you. Alright, so kalau kita tengok soalan satu je dulu ya. Alright, kalau kita tengok soalan ni, nampak ke? Tak share lagi ke? Nampak tak saya punya screen?
Belum lagi, madam.
Belum lagi. Okay, so kalau kita tengok, okay, soalan ni, figure 1 show 3 types of muscle tissue. Name 3 type of muscle tissue in figure 1. So kita ada tissue A, tissue B, tissue C. Okay, so tissue A apa dia? What is tissue A? Anyone? What is tissue A?
Cardiac muscle.
Cardiac muscle.
Okay, how did you know this is cardiac muscle? How did you know? Okay, branching. Lagi satu. Ada apa?
Ada intercalated disc.
Intercalated disc. Thank you. Thank you, Alia. Very good. Okay, thank you yang bagi jawapan tadi. Very good. Okay, maksudnya awak faham. What is tissue B?
Skeletal.
Skeletal. Okay, why skeletal, Kaipeng? Kaipeng, why skeletal?
It's cylindrical.
Very good. It is cylindrical and you can see it also has striation and the nucleus, okay, located below the plasma membrane. Okay, the nucleus is located near the plasma membrane. It's not at the center. And tissue C, of course, what is tissue C? What is tissue C?
Smooth muscle.
Smooth muscle, pandai. So bayangkan soalan ni keluar PSPM 1. Okay, PSPM 1 2021 punya soalan. Yang ni. Sekejap kalau saya tunjuk nampak tak? Tak nampak kenapa tak nampak Sekejap, saya tunjuk kat sini.
Background.
Nampak tak? Sini nampak tak? Ni.
Baik, ma'am.
Tak,
Tak
saya
nampak.
tunjuk kat phone lagi satu. Tak nampak Ini
Nampak,
adalah contoh
nampak.
lah. Ini adalah contoh soalan. Sama je pattern dia. Contoh soalan yang ditanya. Okay, soalan PSPM 1 2021. Alright? Okay. Saya nak end call. Okay. Saya tak adalah nak tunjuk soalan selebihnya. Saya tahu pokok soalan ni saya nak buat quiz terbesar ke. Boleh, rahsia. Okay. Itu adalah pattern lah tu, sebab tu saya cakap ini adalah antara yang popular untuk tisu. Lepas tu untuk B, which type of muscle tissue found at the wall of the heart? Dia tanya yang mana satu boleh jumpa dekat wall of the heart? Tisu mana? Ataupun awak sebut nama
Cardiac
tisu tu.
muscle.
Cardiac tissue. Cardiac muscle boleh, cardiac tissue boleh, ataupun you tulis tissue A. Okay, itu satu dah markah. Dia tanya what is the structural characteristic of the tissue cell which allow impulses to spread rapidly across the heart? Apa dia?
Intercalated disc.
Intercalated disc. Okay, intercalated disc, pandai. Okay, bagus. So saya move on to the next one. Plant tissue. Plant tissue, okay, for plant tissue, we're going to learn about meristem. Okay, meristem tissue, ground tissue, permanent tissue. For meristem tissue, we have apical and lateral. Ground tissue, we have packing and support. Permanent tissue, we have vascular tissue. Okay, again, saya akan tunjukkan kat mana, soalan mana yang, tisu apa yang selalu ditanya. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Xylem phloem selalu juga tanya lah tapi kurang. Nanti awak dah dapat buku pasir ni, buku biomix kan, awak order kan. Order buku isi Google Form, awak order buku tu. Nanti awak akan tengok lah soalan jenis-jenis soalan pasir. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma ni biasa ditanya. Boleh keluar AC, boleh keluar structure. Okay. Okay. Boleh tak saya habiskan plant tisu je. Saya memang tak larat lah kalau awak perasan muka saya pucat kot. Tak? Nampak macam sihat.
Boleh madam.
Kan saya macam kalau saya habiskan plant tisu, saya memang minta maaf tapi saya memang tak larat. Saya memang tak boleh nak buat. Tapi saya cuba yang terbaik untuk habiskan, untuk explain. Okay, insyaAllah esok, sebab kalau boleh saya target esok nak masuk cell cycle. Saya nak masuk cell division dah. Tapi tak sempat kot. Right. Okay, plant tissue. Okay, kita pergi kepada satu-satulah. Kita pergi dulu apa itu meristem tissue. It composed of cell whose function form new cell. So meristem tissue ni adalah tempat is whereby tissue will actively dividing by mitosis. Okay, tissue will be actively dividing by mitosis. That's why meristem tissue we can subdivide it into two, apical and lateral. Apical we can find apical meristem is at the root tip. Okay, dekat bahagian akar. And also at the shoot tips. Okay, apical is the root tip and also at the shoot tips. Because root tips and shoot tip is the one where the cells will be actively dividing. If you see under microscope, this diagram, these two diagram, under microscope, you can see that there is different stages of mitosis. Okay, yang macam dalam gambar ni. Different stages of mitosis that you can see. Okay, if you see this root tip under microscope. Okay, that's why apical meristem, the function is for primary growth. For lateral meristem, the function is for secondary growth. Okay, because it is secondary growth, it is located at the older stems and roots of woody plant. Okay, itu adalah meristem. Okay, meristem, tempat mitosis berlaku. Alright. Primary, secondary, apical, primary, secondary, lateral meristem. Okay, we move on to my favorite part, the popular one. Okay, three types. We have three types of ground tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Make sure you spell correctly. Okay, make sure you spell correctly. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, the cell structure and shape. The shape is isodimetric. Okay, the shape is isodimetric. Okay, isodimetric. This is the structure. The structure of parenchyma, it has thin primary cell wall. Okay, thin primary cell wall. And the thin primary cell wall is made up from, diperbuat daripada cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. Okay, the thin primary cell wall is made up from cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. It has no secondary cell wall. No secondary cell wall. It has nucleus push to periphery. Nucleus push to periphery. Nucleus dia tolak kepada tepi. Why dia tolak kepada tepi? Because it has vacuole yang sebesar-sebesar alam. Okay, vacuole dia makan space. Makan space, sebesar-besar alam duduk kat situ. So the nucleus is pushed to periphery. Okay, it also has large intercellular space. This large intercellular space enable the parenchyma for gaseous exchange. Okay, untuk gaseous exchange. Sebab itulah dia ada intercellular airspace. Okay, for gaseous exchange. Okay. Next, we move on to the distribution. Where can we found? Okay, when you we already discussed pre-lab yesterday. So when you do the pre-lab yesterday, when you observe, you explore the website. Okay, you observe. You should see under the microscope. You should see this cross section. Okay, this cross section, you can see that there are 3 different types of ground tissue can be found in this cross section. For parenchyma, it can be found in pith area and also can be found at the cortex area. Parenchyma. Okay, parenchyma duduk kat situ. Kat pith area and also at the cortex. Okay, function for parenchyma serve as basic packing tissue or stuffing tissue, and then it will give support for herbaceous plant. Okay, and it will store food. It also for gaseous exchange. Okay, due to the intercellular air spaces, and also for photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis. Some of parenchyma has been modified. Okay, some of parenchyma has been modified. Why it is modified? Because it need to carry out specialized function. Okay, specialized function. For example, we have epidermis. Okay, epidermis. Epidermis yang lapisan paling luar lah. Okay, paling luar. Luar sekali. Macam kulit kita pun ada epidermis kan. Okay, the outermost layer is epidermis. Okay, it will provide cover and protection. Mesophyll. Mesophyll, tempat yang di mana akan berlaku fotosintesis. The chlorophyll, the chloroplast structure is abundant at mesophyll. The chloroplast organelle is abundant at the mesophyll. Okay, so it can carry out photosynthesis. And also it will specialize into structure called endodermis. Endodermis, at the endodermis it has Casparian strip. Okay, dekat bahagian endodermis it has Casparian strip which control the amount of water can pass through. Yang ni, dia yang colour purple ni kan, itu adalah Casparian strip. Dia adalah waxy layer. It is waxy layer. So it won't allow water to pass through. Dia tak akan bagi air lalu. Air tak boleh lalu situ. Air kena guna cara laluan lain untuk lalu. Alright. And then it also pericycle. It will also modify into pericycle. Pericycle can be found between endodermis and vascular tissue. Okay, it will produce root branches and root cambium. Okay, kita pergi kepada structure yang seterusnya. Ground tissue yang seterusnya iaitu collenchyma. Collenchyma with double L. Okay, double L. It is living cell. The shape is polygonal. Okay, elongated with tapering end. Dia memanjang with tapering ends. And it also has, the structure is, it has primary cell wall. But the primary cell wall is thicker than parenchyma cell and the thickness is uneven, especially at the corner. Okay, so basically, collenchyma, it has thicker primary cell wall, but the thickness is uneven, especially at the corner. Dia punya ketebalan tu tak sama rata. Okay, ketebalan untuk primary cell wall ni tak sama rata. Especially dekat bahagian corner, kat bahagian sini. Corner. Situ, tak sama rata. Okay, itu specialnya collenchyma ni. And sama, tapi cell wall dia sama juga, dia perbuat pada cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. Okay. The cell arrangement is closely packed. Okay, bila closely packed, there is no very small or no intercellular air spaces, no secondary cell wall, and at maturity, the cells are still alive. Okay, dia tak ada secondary cell wall. Dah besar pun, sel tu still hidup. Yang mati siapa? Yang mati adalah sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma adalah ground tissue yang mati bila dia besar. Okay, tapi kejap nanti kita back to sclerenchyma. Kita pergi kepada function. Function of collenchyma, support young and herbaceous plant. Okay, dia akan support young and herbaceous plant. Okay, non-woody plant, and also give flexibility to plants. Right. Okay, sclerenchyma. This is sclerenchyma. Specialnya sclerenchyma ni, dia ada secondary cell wall. Okay, secondary cell wall which thickened by lignin. Maksudnya secondary cell wall dia tu diperbuat daripada lignin. And it is very strong and hard. Okay, and not permeable to water solutes. Of course, it also has primary cell wall. Dia ada juga primary cell wall. Tapi sclerenchyma ni, dia ada secondary cell wall. Okay, and sclerenchyma, there is also peak. Pit is area without secondary cell wall. Dia akan dekat dia ada ruang kosong macam laluan kan. Ruang kosong ni kan. Itu adalah pit. Pit tu adalah area without secondary cell wall. Tak ada secondary cell wall kat situ. And once it mature, okay, once it died, okay, once the sclerenchyma died, there is formation of lumen. Lumen adalah lubang tengah ni. Lumen. Okay, lumen. There are two types of sclerenchyma, sclerites and fiber. Okay, sclerites and fiber dalam bentuk macam ni. Okay, okay, sclerite. Where can we find the sclerites? Okay, sclerite can be found at the shell of the nuts, the seeds coats in fruits. Okay, that is sclerites, and it form a protective coat around seeds. Okay, the function is form protective coat around seeds and give strength and support. Okay, into function sclerite. Function fiber. Okay, function of fiber provide mechanical strength and rigidity. Okay, in general, function of the sclerite ada dua lah. Sclerite dia punya function form protective coat around seeds. Okay, contohnya dalam kacang, nutshell. Okay, dia adalah protective coat. Siapa yang form? Sclerite. Okay, also give support and give gritty texture to pear. Okay, kalau siapa yang biasa makan pear atau siapa yang pernah makan pear, mestilah pernah makan pear kan. Structure of pear tu dia macam kasar sikit kan. Itu disebabkan sclerite lah. Okay, and fiber ni, okay, itu type pertama sclerite. Type kedua fiber, it will give support and give mechanical strength to stem of woody plants. Okay, that is function. Alright, itu adalah parenchyma, summary of parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So I suggest you, okay, you already did your pre-lab for experiment 2. For experiment 2, pre-lab experiment 2, there is some question that ask you to differentiate parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, dalam lecture note awak, make sure you able to differentiate the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Buat dalam bentuk table. Okay, buat macam soalan pre-lab tu. Okay, dia tanya setiap satu, shape dia macam mana? Mati atau tak? Cell wall dia macam mana? Okay, buat dalam bentuk table, bahagikan parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and then the characteristics. So you can distinguish the differences between parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. From these 3 ground tissue, many type of question they can ask you. Okay, they can ask you to explain every structure and function of parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. They can ask you to differentiate. Okay, or they can ask you to identify. Okay, sama juga kalau awak tengok soalan kedua yang saya bagi tu. Okay, soalan kedua kejap Okay, kita tengok ni soalan kedua. Kita buat sama-sama lah. Okay, soalan kedua. Soalan kedua ni, okay, kalau you boleh kalau ada yang dah print boleh refer. Okay, kalau kita tengok soalan kedua ni, okay, dia bagi tahu sini. Permanent tissue are formed through differentiation of meristematic tissue. They can be divided into dermal, ground tissue and vascular tissue. Figure 2A shows different types of ground tissue. Identify S and T. S and T. Tolong tulis jawapan awak untuk S dengan T dekat ruangan chat tu. Tolong tulis jawapan dekat ruangan chat, apa itu S, apa itu T. Sebab saya nak tengok awak punya spelling. Saya tak nak awak cakap je, saya nak tengok awak punya spelling. So please write your answer at the chat. Okay, Farah dah tulis. Farah at. Okay, S. Kita tuliskan S dulu. S, okay, S. Betul. Alia betul, Falih betul, Azwa betul, Imani betul. Hisham spelling salah Hisham. Farah betul, Kaipeng betul, Aini betul. Adila S betul. Yife betul. Hisham, okay, Hisham dia betulkan. Yes, very good Hisham. That's the way you have spelled parent Kaima. Atirah, nice. Iman, nice. Okay. Alia, alright, good, very good. Then, write your answer for T. Some of you is already write your answer for T. Okay, T, sclerenchyma, sclerenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, Falih betul, Alia betul. Farah, good. Alia, very good, well done. Yife, nice. Aini, excellent. Kai Peng, yes. Bagus, with capitalized S, very good. Atira, spelling betul. Iman, spelling salah. Shasha, very good. Imani, very good. Sekejap. Mana saya punya jawapan? Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma SC. Right. Sclerenchyma SC, LE. Iman spelling salah. Imani pun spelling salah. Hisham pun spelling salah. Okay, so betul kan? Alright. So tapi, okay, basically you tahulah S apa, T apa. S tu adalah parenchyma sebab apa dia ada intracellular spaces. T, kita tengok dia ada lumen. Kalau ada lumen, dia adalah sclerenchyma. Okay. Next dia tanya differentiate. Differentiate the structure of S and T. Okay, yang ni bagi tahu jawapan secara verbal. Siapa boleh bagi tahu perbezaan antara structure S dengan T? Yes, Falih.
S
Yep.
has only primary cell wall,
Okay.
while T has primary and secondary cell wall.
Alright, Falih. Technically correct, but jawapan tak tepat. You must describe S has thin primary cell wall. Kena describe dia punya thickness. S has thin primary cell wall, while T has thin primary cell wall and thick secondary cell wall. Okay, yang tu baru betul lah Fali Okay, baru satu jawapan. Ada lagi jawapan, saya nak 3. Saya nak lagi satu lagi. Boleh tak beritahu? It's okay to be wrong. Kita belajar. Okay, it's okay to be wrong. Kita learn. Kita tengah belajar. So tak apa buat salah. Okay, ada lagi tak nak beritahu jawapan? Okay, Kai Peng, S is living cell while T may be living or dead cell. Alright, Kai Peng just cakap terus T is dead. Okay, betul dah tu tapi tak boleh cakap maybe. Okay, just straight to the point. S is living cell while T is dead during mature. Okay, C is living cell while T is dead during mature. Okay. Alright. Then another okay. Alright, so I want you to go to www.menti.com. Okay, www.menti.com. Wait, right. www.menti.com and insert the code. Use the code 20538195. Okay, www.menti.com. Look, let me. Ya ke? Sekejap, kenapa dia tengah reload lah pula kejap Okay, baru seorang masuk. Internet connection is slow. Sekejap Salah internet lah pula. Dah nampak soalan ke? Belum lagi? Dah nampak soalan tak? Okay, masuk dah. Yeay. Baik, lagi 3 orang. Okay, lagi 2 orang. Okay, lagi seorang. Orang. Siapa yang tak ada? Okay, perfect. Okay, satu soalan saja. Okay, awak kena tengok phone sendiri dan tulis jawapan, hantar. Twenty seconds. Right, time's up. Okay, so the correct answer is Clarence Kaima. Okay, masih ada yang tulis jawapan salah, spelling salah. Yang ni tulis Clarence Kaima tissue, saya juga bagi betul lah. Lagi dia tulis tissue. Okay, dia tak tulis Clarence Kaima saja. So saya bagi betul juga. So tapi masih ada lah. Okay, masih ada tulis spelling yang salah. Okay, kita tak nak lah, make sure. Tapi ramai, 11 orang jawab spelling betul. Very good. Okay, very good. Good job. Okay, so we move on to the next one. Okay, next one is vascular tissue. Vascular tissue. Okay, for vascular tissue, we have xylem and we have phloem. Xylem, we have 4 types of cell. We have tracheids, vessel element. Tapi kita, ada banyak lah, ada 4 tapi kita belajar 2 je, tracheids and vessel elements. Okay, for phloem, we have 4 but we only learn 2, sieve tube members and companion cells. Okay, sieve tube members and companion cells. Okay, so vascular tissue, they are specialized for transport of substances in the plant. Okay, they are specialized for transport of substances in plant. What is the main function of xylem? What is the main function of xylem? Anyone? Main function of xylem.
To transport water and mineral.
Yes, Shalia, transport water and mineral. Very good. What is the function of phloem? Thank you, Shalia. What is the function of phloem?
Transport sucrose.
Transport sucrose. Perfect, Aini. Good. Okay, xylem, kita pergi kepada 2. Kita ada tracheids and vessel elements. Tracheids and vessel element, they have secondary cell wall. And the secondary cell walls are lignified. Okay, lignified maksudnya diperbuat pada lignin lah. So when the cell mature, they will be die. Bila dah besar, dia akan mati. And when they are died, the area of protoplasm become hollow. Maksudnya dekat dalam ni, bahagian dalam sel ni dia akan jadi ruang kosong. Dalam ni akan jadi ruang kosong. Okay, and it only remain cell wall. Dia hanya ada cell wall saja. It has primary and secondary wall. And for xylem, kita tengok dulu xylem. Tracheids, it is long tapered ends. Have pits in the secondary wall. Dia ada lubang kecil ni. Lubang kecil ni. Okay, dia ada pits in the secondary cell wall. Do not have large perforated between the cell. Dia tak ada benda ni. Dia tak ada perforation plate. Dia tak ada. Dia tak ada perforation plate. Bila tak ada perforation plate, it is less efficient to transport water and mineral ions. Okay. Other than the size, the diameter of tracheids is smaller, they do not have perforation plates. Unlike tracheids, vessel element, the diameter is bigger. Okay, the diameter of vessel element is bigger. It also have perforated hole with perforated plates. And then at the end of the wall, they have perforated plates, and each cell will combine. It will form continuous long hollow tubes. So what happen is, each cell dia akan bergabung, dia akan form macam satu tube pipe yang panjang. Okay, tube pipe yang panjang. So bila dia jadi macam tu, dia lagilah efficient. It's more efficient for the water to flow freely, okay, through the vessel with less friction. That is vessel elements. Okay, it found only in angiosperm. And for flowworm, the main components of flowworm, we have sieve tube element and companion cell. Sieve tube elements, okay, kalau ini gambar ni ada sieve tube member and sieve companion cell. Sieve tube element or sieve tube member, the cells are elongated and tubular. Sel dia adalah memanjang dan bentuk bulat. Manjang bentuk bulat. And they are living cell. But once they reach maturity, the organelles such as nucleus, ribosomes and Golgi body, they will be disintegrate. Nucleus, ribosome, Golgi body tu, nukleus tu dia akan hancur, dia akan hilang. Yang tinggal hanya adalah mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, mitochondria to supply energy. Yang tinggal hanyalah mitochondria and ER. And at the end of wall, the end wall are perforated. Okay, the end walls are perforated. Okay, perforated macam tu. Perforated, ada lubang-lubang tu lah. Dia akan form sieve plates. Sieve plates allow cytoplasmic connection. Sieve plate ni macam pintu untuk connectkan satu sieve tube kepada satu sieve tube yang lain. Okay. And sebelah sieve tube dia ada companion cell. Okay, sel rakan. Sel rakan kan, awak belajar ke sel peneman masa sekolah menengah bahasa Melayu? Sel rakan ke sel peneman?
Serakan.
Sel rakan. Sel rakan, companion cell tu, dia pun walaupun dia macam tak ada function, companion cell ni, dia duduk kecil, diam kat situ, tapi dia ada function. Okay, nanti kita tengok function dia. Function untuk sieve tube member, transport sucrose through process called translocation. For companion cell, it is living cells with dense cytoplasm. It is metabolically active, have many mitochondria. Okay, dia ada banyak mitochondria. Okay, and the function of companion cell help to transport sucrose. Dia function untuk transport sucrose juga, tapi dia transport that from mesophyll cell kepada sieve tube. Dia nak transport pada mesophyll kepada sieve tube saja. Yang hantar sucrose kepada all parts of the plant adalah sieve tube member. Okay, tapi companion cell ni dia hantar daripada mesophyll kepada sieve tube sahaja. Okay, dia ada dia punya function dia. Alright. Okay, I will stop here. Do you have any question? For tomorrow, we're going to discuss 2.4. Do you have any question? Soalan tak? Soalan tak? Tak ada ke? Alright. Ada masa lagi ni, saya nak awak buat tutorial. Soalan struktur tutorial. Okay, soalan struktur tutorial yang awak boleh ambil soalan tu daripada saya punya Google Site. Okay, soalan struktur topik 2 tutorial. Okay, kita praktis. Saya faham awak dah buat, ada beberapa soalan awak dah buat. Tapi kita praktis. Latihan. Practice make perfect. Okay. Kalau tak semestinya awak kena hantar esok. Ada masa ni awak buat dulu semua soalan struktur yang takat mana kita dah belajar. Okay, yang takat mana kita dah belajar, soalan struktur takat mana kita dah belajar, awak hantar pada saya. Okay, awak hantar. Okay, saya nak, awak hantar Ahad pun tak apalah, hantar Ahad pun tak apa. Tapi kalau boleh dalam masa 30 minit ni, awak tengok-tengoklah dulu, baca dulu dan awak try buat soalan tu. Alright? Boleh ke?
Buat semua juga.
Structure saja, structure yang dah belajar saja.
Okay.
Kalau you nak buat soalan essay pun tak apa. Ikut suka. Tapi saya wajibkan awak untuk buat soalan structure yang takat mana kita dah belajar. Nak buat MCQ pun tak apa. Later I will share the answer. Okay, I will share the answer with you. Just you have to submit to me. Okay, in Google Classroom. Alright? Okay? Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. We're going to discuss cell transport. Alright? Okay, I'm sorry for today. Ada banyak bunyi. I'm not feeling well. InsyaAllah I get better next week. Okay, take care guys. Assalamualaikum. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Refresh, huh?